Do something today that your future self will thank you for. A very good morning, children. In today's class, let us start our new lesson, that is triangles. You have studied about triangles and their various properties in your earlier classes. You know that triangle is a closed figure formed by three intersecting lines. Tri means three. And also you know that a triangle has three sides, three angles and three vertices. Alva? ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರು ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಹುಗಳು, ತ್ರೀ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೋನಗಳು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೂರು ವರ್ಟಿಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮೂಲೆಗಳು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, in this triangle ABC, it is denoted as triangle ABC with this triangle symbol, and this AB, AC, BC are the three sides of this triangle, and this angle A, angle B and angle C are the three angles, and this A, B, C are the three vertices. And children, in your 8th standard you have also studied some properties of triangles, isn't it? In this chapter, you will study in detail about the congruence of triangles, rule of congruence, some more properties of triangles and inequalities in a triangle. You have already verified most of these properties in your earlier classes. We will now prove some of them. Now, let us see. What do you mean by a congruency of triangles? Before that, let us see what do you mean by this congruent. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ congruent ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡುವ. Here you are observing some identical photos of a baby. Can you say how it looks identical? Yes, it is because it has same shape and size, isn't it? ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಈ ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಇದೆ ಫೋಟೋಗೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ, here you are observing two bangles of same size. These are also looking identical because it has same shape and same size, isn't it? Now, Here you are looking two ATM cards issued by the same bank. Observe, these are identical because this also has same shape and same size. So they are identical. And here you are observing two coins minted in the same year. This is minted on 2012 and this is also 2013 and 2013. If we place this 1 rupee coin on this, what happens? See, yes, they cover each other completely, isn't it? It happens so because these coins also has same shape and same size. These type of figures, we called it as a congruent figures. Are you understood, children? Congruent means equal in all respects, or figures whose shapes and sizes are both the same. Okay? Yava figures ina, yava objects ina ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೋ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದು ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತದೋ ಅಂತಹ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಅಂತಹ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಕಾನ್ಗ್ರುಯೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್. Now let us learn more about this. Here you are observing some polygons, isn't it? Can you tell if these polygons are congruent? Okay. Now let me check its congruence. For that, I have to check whether these polygons have same shape and same size, isn't it? Alva, idu ಕಾನ್ಗ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಲಿಗನ್ಸ್ ಹೌದಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ ಶೇಪಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸೈಜಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ? ಹೌದು, ಇದರ ಶೇಪ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ I have to superimpose these polygons ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಒಂದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟು ನೋಡುವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಶೇಪ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಇದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ now I am going to superimpose these polygons on one on the other. Okay, now rotate this and translate. Yes, now rotate this also. These polygons were superimposing ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸೂಪರ್ ಇಂಪೋಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ಒಂದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದನ್ನ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಪಾಲಿಗಾನ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಲಿಗಾನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಲಿಗಾನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಸೇಮ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಲಿಗಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು? ಎಸ್, ಗುಡ್, congruent polygons or congruent figures. Okay, now I hope you understood what do you mean by a congruent. Congruent means congruent figures or congruent polygons or congruent triangles means yes, they should have same shape and same size. Okay, now let us see what do you mean by congruent circles. Can you say? Yes, if two or more circles having same radii, then they were called as congruent circle. Here is one activity for you children. Now you have to draw two circles of same radius and then place one on the other. Now I will also draw two circles of same radius. Now construct a circle with radius 2 cm. Here I am taking radius as 2 cm. Now the circle C is with center A and the radius is 2 cm. Now I am going to construct another circle of same radius, that is 2 cm with center B, and I am taking radius as same as previous circle, that is 2 cm. Now the circle D you are observing here with the same radius 2 cm as circle C. Now these two circles were called as congruent circles because since these two circles having same radius, so we called it as a congruent circle. Now I am going to replace or superimpose this circle with the center B on the circle with center A. Yes, they get superimposed to each other, so we called it as a congruent circles. Are you understood children? These two circles with center A and B were called as congruent circles because they both have same shape and same size, isn't it? Repeat this activity by placing one square on the other with sides of the same measure. What happens? Yes, here you are observing two squares with sides of the same measure. Now you have to superimpose these two squares. Okay, now let us check what happens. Yes, now these two squares get superimposed, isn't it? So squares with the sides of the same measure we called it as a congruent squares. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ congruent squares ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನು? ಎರಡು ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಶೇಪ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ congruent squares. Okay children, are you understood? And children, you know how to construct an equilateral triangle. Yes, equilateral triangle means what? Yes, all sides are equal. In a triangle, if all the three sides are equal, then we call the triangle as an equilateral triangle. Here I am taking two equilateral triangles and you know how to construct an equilateral triangle. Now construct two equilateral triangles of sides same. Here also I have constructed two equilateral triangles of sides same. And now let us check whether these two triangles are congruent or not. For that we have to check whether these two triangles have same shape and size. For that I am superimposing these two triangles. Yes. Now I am going to superimpose these two triangles. They get superimposed, isn't it? So we can conclude that these two triangles with the sides same are congruent to each other. So we can conclude that two equilateral triangles with sides same are congruent to each other. Now children, you may wonder why we are studying congruency, alva? ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಈ congruency ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಬೇಕು ನೋಡು. You might have seen an ice tray in your refrigerator, isn't it? How it looks? It looks like this, no? Observe these mouths are all congruent. The cast used for molding in the tray also has congruent depressions. Maybe all are rectangular or all are circular or all are triangle, whatever may be the shape, but they are identical, isn't it? These depressions are identical. So whenever identical objects have to be produced, the concept of congruency is used in making cast. Okay. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ನೀವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಪೆನ್ನಿನ ಖಾಲಿಯಾದ ರೀಫಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು ಬೇರೆ ಹೊಸ ರೀಫಿಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ರೀಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗದೇ ಇರಬಹುದಲ್ಲ. ಕಾರಣ ಹಳೆಯ ರೀಫಿಲ್ ನ ಸೈಜ್ ಹೊಸ ರೀಫಿಲ್ ನ ಸೈಜ್ ಒಂದೇ ಆಗದೇ ಇರುವುದಲ್ವಾ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ if the two refills are identical or congruent, the new refill fits. So like this you can find numerous examples where congruence of objects is applied in your daily life. Now let us come back to our concept, that is congruent triangles. Here you are observing two triangles. One is triangle ABC and another one is triangle RST. It looks congruent, doesn't it? Since these two triangles are having same shape and same size. If I superimpose these two triangles, they will get superimposed. So these two triangles, we called it as congruent triangles. Now let us find out what do you mean by corresponding sides and corresponding angles in two congruent triangles. Yes children, if I replace this triangle RST on to triangle ABC, I mean if I superimpose this triangle RST onto triangle ABC, this angle A will superimpose with this angle R, isn't it? And like that, this angle B in the triangle ABC will get superimposed with this angle S of triangle RST. Similarly, this angle C in the triangle ABC will get superimposed with angle T of the triangle RST, isn't it? So these angles we called it as a corresponding angles. Here in these two triangles, angle A is corresponding to angle R. We write this as like this. Angle A is corresponding angle to angle R and angle B is corresponding to angle S and angle C is corresponding to angle T. Now you are observing the sides of these triangles, these two triangles with different colors, isn't it? So this AC is opposite to the angle B, and like that this side RT is opposite to the angle S. And you know that these two angles, that is angle B and angle C, are already equal. So we call this AC and RT with the same color, which are indicated by the same color. We call these sides as the corresponding sides. And like that, this AB and RS, these two sides are also corresponding sides. And similarly, BC of this triangle is corresponding to the side ST of the triangle RST. Are you understood, children? Here, how can we find out the corresponding sides? Yes, if we know the corresponding angles, we can easily find out the corresponding sides of two congruent triangles. The opposite sides of the equal angles are corresponding sides. Are you understood? ಎರಡು ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಎರಡು ಕಾನ್ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆ ಎರಡು ಕಾನ್ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಆರ್ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ವೈಸ್ ವರ್ಸ, ಈಗ ಎಸಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಕಾನ್ಗ್ರುಯೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಕಾನ್ಗ್ರುಯೆಂಟ್, ಅದು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ here angle A is corresponding to angle R, angle B is corresponding to angle S, angle C is corresponding to angle T. So we can write these two corresponding triangles as by using congruent symbol like this. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle RST. See the letters here. If I use this congruent symbol, this symbol we called it as a congruent symbol, symbol of congruency. Are you observing? This symbol is called as symbol of congruency. After placing this symbol, we have to write these corresponding angles orderly. If I change this order, it is incorrect. Are you understood? If I change this order as SRT, RT, RS, it is incorrect because here angle A is corresponding to angle R and angle B to S, and angle C is corresponding to angle. So we have to keep in mind that after placing this symbol of congruence, we should not change the order of corresponding angles. Now it is clear that what do you mean by this corresponding sides and corresponding angles of two congruent triangles. Now here is one activity for you. Here yes, these are three triangles. These three triangles are congruent triangles, and you have to identify the corresponding angles here. Yes, here this angle 70 degree, and here this 70 degree. These three angles are corresponding angles. Similarly, 60 in this triangle 60 degree, and here 60 degree, and here 60 degree. These three angles are corresponding angles. Like that, this 50 degree, 50 degree, and 50 degree. These three angles are also corresponding angles. Like that, the corresponding sides, observe these corresponding sides. This is 12 centimeter and 12 centimeter and 12 centimeters are opposite to the corresponding angles, that is 70 degree, Here also 70 degree and 70 degree, isn't it? Similarly, the another pair of this corresponding sides are 11 centimeter, 11 centimeter, and here also 11 centimeter. Like the 12 centimeter, 12 centimeter, and 12 centimeter. Here in these two triangles, triangle DEF and triangle LMN, can you identify the corresponding angles? Yes, here the first you have to see the corresponding sides. Here this side DF is corresponding to side DF is corresponding to the side LN of triangle LMN. So the opposite angle of this LN is angle M and this DF is angle E. So these two angles, that is M and angle M and angle E, are corresponding angles. Like that, this DE is corresponding side to this MN. So the opposite angle of this DE is F and MN is angle L. So angle L and angle F are corresponding angles. Similarly, this side LM is the corresponding side of EF, since these two sides are equal, and the opposite angles of this EF is angle D, and the opposite angle of this LM is angle N. So this angle D and angle N are corresponding angles. This much is enough in this class, children. Thank you.